No. I can't take this anymore. Hi guys. Oh. Hello! Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Brooklyn Rewers, and on this channel I do a plethora of videos. I do book videos. I am on the women's basketball team at the University of Hawai'i, so I'll do basketball vlogs and random vlogs and stuff like that. So welcome to the channel. If you're here for books, you have found the right video because this is a very special video. This morning I checked Barnes and Noble and I got the special, this is gonna sound so bad. I got the special edition of this and it has blue flowers on it, and it's not coming until the 5th. I leave the 6th. And then last night I ordered the paperback version on Amazon because they had it in stock again. Now I officially have 3 versions of this book, and I'm hoping it's gonna be one of the best ones because I have 3 copies of them. But anyways, I'm so excited. I saw in Target there were like 3 left in stock, and I was like, Mom, we gotta go. My car is not working right now, so I would have driven myself fully, but I was like, Mom, we gotta go. I couldn't find it for the longest time. I literally went back and forth and around the aisles so many times, and it was hidden in the corner, and there's 1 copy left. I didn't see Powerless. I don't know where Reckless is at. I know it would pop out at me. It says it's in stock, there's 3 left. So happy I got it. Hopefully you can read this and you want to read this, and you know, we're reading this together and we're getting excited about it. I listened to Powerless earlier this week on Audible and Spotify, so I finished it. I'm all caught up. I remember what happened because there were some things I did forget, and then some theories that I have. I think in this book that Kai and Peyton obviously are gonna meet up because I saw that drawing of them in that pool and they were together, obviously. So they're gonna meet up and something's gonna happen, but I feel like it's gonna be Kai and Peyton versus Kit, and Kit's gonna go on like a power trip, and then the 3rd book will be about like fixing that. Maybe. That's just my theory. That's like the only thing that that's the only thing I could think of. I started reading Powerful. I need to finish that too. So honestly, because Powerful, if you don't know, is Adina's book, and it's like a little novella. And in there we meet Mac, who is a blacksmith. And I feel like, cause in the book, I'm literally 70 pages into it, they keep mentioning this silver streak of hair in Mac's hair. And I think he's either related to Peyton or Kai. There's some connection to those two. I'm so excited to read this. I hope you guys are excited. Sorry for rambling. That is the end of this. I will update you guys the next time I have this book cracked open and I'm reading it. Okay, I think I'm going to make red plot and anything else, and then gray and like these lighter colors will be Kai and Peyton moments. But right now I'm trying to figure out what playlist I want to listen to, and I think I'm gonna listen to this playlist. I'll put a picture. I saved it when I first read Powerless, but I think I'm gonna add songs to the playlist that I saved. I thought I'd just update you guys on that because music is so important. I've seen a couple things on TikTok and I've scrolled by past them, but I've seen like a quote or 2 from Kai. They can never make me hate Kai. I love that man. He comes on the page, I'm giggling, I'm smiling. I can't help it, it's not my fault. I made it to chapter 5. The first 2 chapters were already offered, like the sneak peek into book 2, and so that's basically what I read. I remember that. Nothing too crazy has happened right now. If you've read Powerful and you know Adina's story, Adina referenced the stars and the moon and the sun a lot in the book, and she said that one day she wants to join them. Hayden says, "The stars are flirtatious things, always winking down in the darkness, but they make for good company, surrounding me with their countless constellations." That just made me think of Adina. Hopefully Adina's up there as a star and providing comfort for Peyton in a time where she's trying to flee for her life. Also, Kai did something that I would not expect that man to ever do. How dare you? I did to see this like push and pull between the 2 of them because they know what's right and they just can't do it because they're just in love with each other. I think what's gonna happen is like they're gonna come head to head. It's gonna be like each of them are gonna have an opportunity to kill the other, and they're not gonna do it, obviously. Like a banter fight, maybe? I don't know. last time that I filmed. I'm on chapter 14. I left off at chapter 5. Pretty sure I got most of my reactions. I didn't get one because my mom came in my room and I wasn't filming at the time, and I kept reading and I was like, Mom, you gotta go because I gotta put my headphones on, I gotta lock in. Just the first 100 pages, it's kind of slow but also not. Benny would agree. Picking up, and I'm excited to see where it goes because honestly the tension is tensioning, like it's there. Kai is very poetic in this book. He is speaking, like there are some things he said in here. I'm just gonna read this quote because I love this. He's like being very poetic lately. So he says, I see none of that because I see nothing at all. She is no one, I am nothing, we are forgotten, and this is meaningless. Like, I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's like, keep telling yourself that, Kai. Keep telling yourself that. Also really excited to see the development of Kit. Kit is honestly at the point where he's ready to go insane and become crazy and reckless. We got like a little more development, basically saying that he's kind of envious of Kai, which I thought was interesting. I think how Kit is perceiving Kai, that Kai is like, he doesn't care, he can do this stuff. Kai was created to become the way he is. Like, he wasn't born that way. I don't think Kit understands that. But anyways, that is where I'm at with this book. If you have a boxer, this makes sense. That's my side of the bed, and I'm letting him. They're so petty towards one another. Finished on page 116. I'm in the middle of Kai's chapter. I don't know how to read this man. He is very confusing. Let me read you this little chunk. Studying her, and it says, because I can't seem to decide what's more frightening, watching her stop fighting or watching her die. What is she without her fire fueling her? A shell of the silver savior she once was, the ghost of a girl I was willing to ruin myself for. If she fights for nothing, she lives for death, but if she burns for something, she lives for hope. I want her to fight me. I want her to burn for me, even if it means with hatred. I sigh, exhaling the motions accompanying each dizzying thought, and instead say, where's the fun in that? I don't know, he's such a tease. I am going to stop at chapter 18. The next chapter is Kit's point of view, which is interesting. I'm on page 129. So far, what I've read, we've gone through Kai and Peyton's chapter. They went into this like inn, and he asked for like a single room. It's just Kai and Peyton, and it was almost giving like one bed trope. You can just tell he cares so much for her still. She stares unseeingly at the blood coating her fingers, swallowing hard at the sight, shaking with each shallow breath. Something is very wrong with the silver savior, and I'm not supposed to care. Like, still cares. He slept on the floor because, yeah, I can't help but think that in another life, another time, another chance to choose each other, I would be in that bed beside her. I've run through a pen. Got my new pen! Okay. I watched the prince swing gracefully from his saddle before closing the distance between us. Swallowing, I trace the muscle that ticks in his jaw. The pathy gaze trails down my body, and then he's crouching before me once again, looking up with the hands braced on either side of my injured thigh. His eyes are on mine, and for a single bittersweet second, it's Kai I'm looking at, not the monster meant to hunt me down. Like, this man, he's so in love with her, it's insane. I'd be a fool not to fear something so fierce. I swallow. And are you not? A fool, that is? He stands then, holding my gaze until he's the one looking down on me. Not anymore. No, I think so often of you, which is why I know exactly what you would do. If Kai doesn't, like, not take her to Kit, and like that's how the book ends with him and Kit beefing or something, I'm gonna be so shocked. This man, this is in his thoughts. I doubt she slept so soundly in days, or eaten much, for that matter. And he goes, I should really make her eat more. Tell me you love her without telling me you love her. Kai is in his like poet era. This man, chapter 20, the first page of this chapter. A soft sleepy noise slips past her lips, and I still the sound. She's held between my hands, solid against my chest, head on the pounding heart of her captor. I've never seen such peace held so gently in the arms of death. Okay. And then she smiles bright and big like the night sky hanging above us. I fear she could rival the stars. Like, stop being poetic, Kai. I can't take it. What? Oh my gosh. Lenny's here, you guys. I read, I want to say like 20 or 30 pages, came and rescued Peyton because they were on the move and they saw her. But it's so funny because like they're talking about what happened with the resistance and stuff, and Kai's just walking in front of them. And then they made it to Lenny's like mom's sanctuary thing for mixes. It was described Lenny as like long and lanky. I don't know why. It might be because of Mice and Men. I picture Lenny like stockier and like a bigger guy, not some like long, lean, tall man. I follow her into sleep, into oblivion, into wherever it is she's going. I only wake up when something is thrown over my head, the air thick and choking. I struggle against the arms strangling me before my body goes limp. Then I'm dreaming again, and it might just be of her. The only warning that she's stirring awake, and then the back of her skull connects with my own setting, stars swimming in my vision. Ow, I groan, leaning forward as much as the rope will allow. Oh, it's you, she says groggily. I didn't know who I was tied to, so I should have hit you harder. Every bit of my being is focused on the way her fingers feel between mine. It's absurd. The distant sound of clicking boots has her snatching her hand out of my grasp. Good, fine, I'm glad that's over with. You liar. Oh, the dude that gave her money at the fighting thing? Raphael? He's the one that kidnapped her, I'm pretty sure. I forgot who he was for a second. I was like, who the hell is Raphael? So Raphael wants to take Peyton and Kai back to Ilya to get more money because he's just greedy. Peyton's like, the smell is terrible, and he goes, ah, Raphael nods, that's the sewer under us. I wrote, that's the escape plan. I'm sure, so I'm assuming then Kai and Peyton are gonna have to like team up because now everyone's gonna go after them as a pair. What do you want right now?
I know it's your reading time. Oh.
I just got done talking to Jade. She literally called me at the time where I just read this. First of all, Callum. I thought Callum was like the leader of the resistance. Am I not insane? He was literally the one that held them in the box. And it says he's been his advisor for a while now through all of this. Is Callum playing tricks and games right now? Callum can read minds, I'm pretty sure. He pulled a small box from his pocket and set it on the worn wood between us. And then it says, which means you sacrifice who you were for who you need to be. His eyes born of mine were reading more than just the emotion on my face and who you need to be it with. Probably referring to marrying someone. What if he married Peyton? No. I don't, but who would he marry? Who's some other female that in this story that we haven't met, you know? If you know this part, it's chapter 25, the first page. God, this is like plastered. I've seen this so many times, so I'm not really surprised that I read this. Plastered all over TikTok. So it says, your clumsy footwork will be the death of us, you know? A frustrated sound tears from my throat. Well, you're not exactly the most encouraging person to be tied up with. Under different circumstances, he pants. I promise you I'm much more fun tied up. Man with a duality. You know what I mean? He's a little poetic, a little cheeky. He's like laughing. He's so unserious. Your hair could pass for moonbeams before it passes for gray. Thank Peyton for her anxiety attacks because this man, 188, page 188, they get into the sewer and they basically hit a wall. He goes, Peyton, the water seems to still for his voice. No, I say sternly, don't do that. Don't go saying my name because you think it might be the last time you ever will. He has the nerve to chuckle. Your name seems like a good word to die with on my lips. Kai, I don't regret it. His words are a rush, a confession he clung to. I don't regret you, or whatever was between us, and I don't regret kissing you on that roof, but I know I'll regret what I'll have to do to you for the rest of my life. I wrote, OMG Malachi, you did not. You didn't. This man, we're calling him by his first name, like full first name. Like he's still hung up on killing her. You just confessed that you don't regret it. You love her. We know you do. Like, I want to cry. I'm thinking about the fact that like Kai would even consider killing her, and she's probably like the love of his life, and he would rather fulfill his duty and kill her than actually be with her. I could cry about that. I'm not going to, but I could if I was emotional enough. The Exit by Conan Gray might be good. Lauren Roberts, why are you the way you are? This book is killing me. I'm not gonna finish this book because I will be highlighting everything. He says, do you regret it? He asks, voice urgent. His hands run up to my neck to feel my face, fingers trembling over my cheekbones. My hands find his arms cupping his wrist. I regret not doing it right, and I regret not being what I'm supposed to be. He strokes a thumb across my wet cheek. I'm sorry you have to be anything at all. And fingers trembling over my cheekbones, trembling. Like, I know they're gonna make it out because look how much left is in the book. I don't smoke, but literally for a second there, I could understand when someone's like, where's my vape? Where's my highlighter? So lame. Thought I'd share that with you guys because you know we're friends. Kiss number 2. His hand tugs my face closer until I can feel his breath on my lips. Water drips from his hair to splatter onto my suddenly heated skin. His pulse pounds beneath my fingers wrapped around his wrist. My heart aches to be reunited with the piece he's stolen from me. My nose brushes his. Tend, I whisper against his lips. I am reckless incarnate until the very end. My mouth meets his. I'm actually so excited for Kai's point of view. I eat up his point of view, so I need to know what he's thinking right now. She tastes like a piece of the heaven I won't be going to. Kissing her is a relief. It's a delicate sort of demand. She pulls away, panting. Oh my god. She pulls away, panting, words between each kiss. I hate you. I know, I murmur into her mouth. I run my hand slowly up her side. Prove it to me, Gray. I murmur against the ear. Hate me enough to use me. I'm gonna literally underline and highlight this whole page. Okay, first of all, Gracie Abrams, stay for page 192. Kind of resulted in tears for me. I'm literally gonna read you guys this whole page. It feels like finality, this kiss, this moment. I kiss her harder at the thought, willingly breathing her in until at the very end. Her arms slide from my wrist to wrap around my neck. She's clinging to me as though I'm an anchor. She's willing to sink with me. I'm drowning with her, in her. It's only when the water reaches her lips that she pulls away. Kai, she whispers. I never learned how to swim. You're okay, I murmur, pushing tangled hair from her face. I've got you. I wrap my arms around her waist, holding her against me. It's only a matter of time now. The water's at my neck and rising rapidly. It's not long before I'm treading water, trying to keep the both of us afloat. Wrap your legs around me, I order softly, staying calm for her sake. I feel her nod before her legs are hugging my waist, freeing my hands to help keep our head above the water. My head is nearing the ceiling, trapping us down here. I focus on the feel of her hands around my neck, of her fingers fidgeting with my hair. Are you scared? She whispers, her lips close to my ear. I'm brave enough to admit that I'm terrified, I say quietly. It's a struggle to hold the both of us, though I won't need to do it for much longer. I only wish I could see her face, could count the freckles splattering her nose one last time. I wish I could drown in those ocean eyes before the water gets the chance. And then Peyton goes, do you? She starts, I feel her arms leave my neck. Do you feel that? I try to keep my voice steady despite struggling to keep my head above the surface. Feel what? Oh, maybe just the water draining, you know, and we just admitted that we really love each other. Like, be so for real. And I think the reason I started tearing up is because death is such a scary thought, and the fact that like Kai as the enforcer is scared of dying, but yet he can like so easily kill someone, but like now he's finally faced with it. It's such like a, I don't know, like his character's finally meeting what he does. I don't know, it just, that made me really sad because I don't want him to die. They found a grate, so basically they found a way to escape this man, and she's pushing against it while I'm trying to hold her up. I can't hold her any longer. I can't stay afloat. I can't breathe. Page 194. Open your books to page 194, please. I'm running out of air, and I know she is too. Her movements grow more sluggish with each second. I will not let her die like this. I cannot. And then I put, I need to be the one to kill her. He like lifts her up, gets her out of the crate, and says, I vaguely hear her muffled gasp, her choking cough. Through blurry vision, I watch her pull herself up and over the crate. She made it. She's breathing. She's alive. I don't know that I'll be able to say the same for me. My eyelids are heavy, blinking shut without my permission. In fact, my entire body is heavy, weighing me down as I begin to sink. So this is it. This is how the mighty enforcer meets his end. It could be worse, I suppose. I don't bother fighting the water anymore. I'm too tired, too ready to rest. She'll be free of me now. She's probably halfway to a shadow she can melt into. The idea almost makes me smile. I sink into oblivion. The thought of her, my final prayer. Lauren Roberts, go off. Like you slayed with Kai. He is more poetic in this book. Young and Beautiful is a great song for that. My percentage, I read like 30 pages, so it wasn't that big of a jump. I'm 38% done. Only 50% done. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm lying to myself and to you guys. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Hi guys, new location unlocked. This is the living room of my apartment. Currently on chapter 27. We just had a beautiful time with them in the sewer, confessing their love basically for each other, so
We watch each other, his gray eyes unwavering. It feels different, this look. The look of two people who now share another secret. The things death made us say, the kiss we shared thinking it was our last, can never be undone. So Peyton started to say that they should get out of the alleyway that they're in. And Kai says, are we going to talk about it? He asks, suddenly seeming much closer to me. He's sitting up now, combing back damp hair with his fingers. I have no idea what you're referring to. A cocky laugh. Is that so? I can remind you if you like. It was a mistake, I huffed, turning to look into his face that is far too close. This one and the one before. The only mistake was not making it sooner. This man has hard eyes right now. He forgot his mission for sure. Like, he doesn't know what he has to do right now. Oh my gosh. No. I feel so played right now. Genuinely, I feel so played. I just got like completely bean boozled. Did you not see my jaw hanging from my face? I want to cry. So, you know how I was saying how Kai's like, the only mistake was not making it sooner. And then he inches close to her. He says, the eyes staring heatedly into mine, talking about his. And she's like, I'm never gonna let you kiss me again, as she's leaning into him. So she's lying. So we're thinking we're gonna get a kiss here. He inches closer, his hand roaming down my neck. My breath catches as his lips brush mine, and something clamps around my ankle with a click. I pull away, looking down to see the metal chain he brought out of the sewer with him. A single ankle cuff occupies each end of the 3-foot chain, and he just fastened one of them to me. She goes, what the hell? I haven't even finished spewing the rest of my profanity before he's clamping the other end of the chain to his own ankle. My eyes drift to his end to mine, blinking at the short length tethering us together. When I find my voice, it's deceptively calm. What did you do? I just ensured that my mission makes it back to Iliad with me. Oh my god. And then he goes, it was the only way. Like, I just got played fully. I have to go do my laundry. I need to go think about that for a second. That was so violent and rude, and how dare you, Kai. I have trust issues now with Kai. Like, we just professed our love in the sewer, had a great moment, saves each other, and he's still focused on his mission. Opens his chapter 28, he says, are you planning to ever speak to me again? It's giving like, where's my hug at? Like, dude, you just chained her up. I wish I didn't have feelings clouding my focus, my judgment. Wish I didn't need her like I need to complete this mission. It's exhausting, fighting every impulse telling me to explain why I did this, why I have to do this. My life is not my own, and for that reason, she can never be mine. Isn't there like some way that we could just forget about it all? What? I grind out. She snorts. Possessive, are we? I chained you to me. What do you think? Like, you're not gonna kill her. He's not saying her name because I guess she doesn't want him to, so he's saying that he'll just have to say her last name, and he says, keeping her name trapped in the confines of my mind. Like, why are you so poetic? Stop. And they're like holding hands down the alley. And what makes you think I have any desire to do it again? I shrug. You've already done it twice, so look at me and tell me you won't do it again. She opens her mouth to do just that, but I cut her off with a tug of the chain that has her tripping closer without tapping your left foot. This is gaslighting in a book. Stop hurting my heart. If this ending is insane as how it happens between that, I would cry. Reading this has become far too difficult for me. And the innkeeper's chasing after them. And Kai also stole a hat from a cart, so I think more merchants and stuff are chasing after them. He says, we need to lose him. Kai murmurs after another shout echoes around the corner. I'm about to say something when he suddenly pulls me down another alley and pushes me against a crumbling wall. What are you? Pretend, Gray, he breathes, trapping me against the wall with his body. Before I get the chance to question him, he's untied my skirt with one hand and thrown it to the ground. I blink at the crumpled fabric at our feet before his hand is guiding my face to his. I see the order in his eyes, the need for me to listen to him just this once. I want to know what this damn box is that Kit has. And also, I did understand why Kit likes Peyton, but there wasn't anything to me that stood out as much as her and Kai. And I know there were more scenes written for her and Kai, and there's just more chemistry and tension and stuff. But like, is Kit living in this like fantasy world? Because he is hooked on this girl. This girl's got 2 princes. Could you imagine? Let's just run with this idea here that Kit proposes to Peyton. Thinking about that makes me want to cry. Simply because I love Kai so much, and I would hate The idea that Peyton cannot be his and that it's Kit's. Kit is not even in the equation. This is not a triangle at all. This man. Okay, it's troubling how tempting she is. She tasted like a privilege, felt like a dream. It was an effort of sheer will to step away, to pry myself from her. This man is down bad for Peyton. I don't care what happens in this book. She turns so her cheek is against mine and slowly wraps a lazy arm around my neck. It's just an excuse to whisper without looking suspicious, but I struggle to slow my racing heart nonetheless. Sly smile spreads across my face, and she's avoiding his eye contact, so he grabs her chin and he says to her, "Jealousy looks good on you, Gray." I murmur, my fingers still cupping her chin. Her eyes flick between mine, full of familiar fire. I'm not jealous. My gaze lingers on her lips before traveling down the length of her. Then you just look good. I'm on page 236, so I have about 140 pages, I think. Also, I was thinking that Blue by Billie Eilish, let me break this down and tell me that this is not Kit coded. I don't really understand the meaning of the song, so maybe I'm like totally reading into this wrong. The lyrics are, "Don't hate you, but we can't save you. You were born reaching for your mother's hands, victim of your father's plans to rule the world." Like, is that not Kit coded? Too afraid to step outside, paranoid and petrified of what you've heard. And then, okay, POV. It's when Kit was transitioning to becoming king and actually like sitting on the throne. It's like that song's playing, right? And victim of your father's plans to rule the world, too afraid to step outside, paranoid and petrified of what you've heard. And then it's like either Kit saying enforcer to Kai, basically signaling that he is changing. And then, but it's when Billy changes, she goes, "But I could say the same about me. I sleep about 3 hours each night, means only 21 a week now." Like, because he really isn't getting sleep now. You guys can let me know how much of a genius I am down in the comments. I will only be taking praise. Thank you. All I have to say is page 237, 9 lines in. That's all I'm saying. I cannot verbalize those. So she's like buying into the whole pretend thing. Word of the day is pretend. No, you're used to that pretty face and title of yours getting you everything you want. He pulls back enough to look me in the eyes, allowing me to glimpse the emotion peeking through the cracks of his mask. His gray gaze travels over my face, taking in every disheveled inch of me. Not everything. So right now we're at the part to page 245 where he's telling Peyton about his sister Ava. She had this beautiful thick black hair, big gray eyes like my mother. Everyone joked that she was the prettier version of me, and when I looked at her I saw the best parts of myself. So like it was full sister too, because Kit's only his half brother. Oh my gosh. There's a part where Peyton's like crossing her legs and she winces kind of, and Kai notices and he goes, "What's wrong?" "Nothing," I say quickly. "Try again." Kai's actually such a little sweetheart because he's actually a massive gaslighter and manipulator, but he's also a sweetheart. Peyton goes, "Since when do you do anything the king hasn't ordered you to do?" His voice is calm. "What I felt for you went against every order I've ever been given." "So why did you tell me about Ava? You said you never talk about her." He runs a hand through his hair, sighing at the crackling fire. "I think that question deserves a dance." I choke on my scoff. "I'm sorry?" "You know how this works, Gray," he says simply, as though it's painfully obvious. "You dance, you get your answer." "You were dancing with my brother, that's how." He spins me then, surprising me into tripping over my feet. "You were giving him that look like you do." "What look?" "I'm not quite sure," he says quietly. "You never gave it to me." Peyton reminds Kai of Ava in a sweet way, and I think that's why he likes her so much, because it brings him peace to be with someone who emanates the same light that Ava did. This is what I'm saying. I literally said this. Okay. He finally meets my gaze, shaking his head slightly. "Your spirit is familiar. You remind me of what could have been in another life. I think Ava would have grown up to be like you." I wanted her to be formidable, recklessly bold, powerful, despite ability. I stare at him to his friend. I'm none of those things. He drops my hand to brush gentle fingers beneath my chin, raising my face up towards his. "You're much more than those things. You overestimate me." "No, I just see you." That makes me want to cry, but I'm not going to. I can't do this anymore. I'm breaking up with Kai. There, I said it. If this man says pretend one more time, I might actually cry. Like, I genuinely cannot do this anymore. So her shoes are on his boots, and she's like, what the hell? He grins, flashing both dimples at me. Let me dance for the both of us. Kai literally just said, despite everything, I struggle to not want her. So is that a pretend sentence, Kai? Of course he will bring her back to you, and not because it's his duty, but because he loves you. And what if he loves her more? It's giving pick me, Kit. Like they're the king, act like it. So they found this sanctuary, and I think this is like this picture. And Peyton's sitting down in her hands. I'm assuming they're sitting like this, you know? And Kai puts his hand by her hand. He's placed his palm on the grass beside mine. I feel his fingers inching closer before they graze the tips of mine. I don't dare look in his direction. My gaze is fixed on the glittering water as I occupy myself by counting each ripple. On ripple 3, he slides his pinky beneath mine. By 7, most of our fingers are woven together, tangled in the lush grass. Because honestly, what would Kit do? He wouldn't kill Peyton. Kit is like in love with Peyton. This man is either going to propose or something insane. His hands should not have so much control over me. Tracing fingers should not be tugging on my heartstrings. But gentleness will be my undoing. There's an intimacy in being reached for. I would be free without you. I smile sadly. I would be doing whatever the hell I want. And then he says, like fighting in cage matches and living in a crumbling building. Beats rotting in a cell. I shoot back, my eyes on his. His fingers find my chin, wiping away the water dripping from my lips. I won't let that happen. I flinch when his fingers brush the jagged line and turn away to hide from him. Gray. Azur, I cut in firmly. Don't pretend to forget who we are to each other. What we are to Ilya. I jab a finger into his bare chest. Elite. Ordinary, enforcer, criminal. I shake my head, staring blankly at the branches swimming around us. We are enemies with history, enemies who hate each other. I don't bother to look at him, but I know he's shaking his head. You don't hate me. Oh, I have every reason to. But that doesn't mean you do. I huff and push my palms against his chest. Put me down. He holds me tighter. You know what I think? No, I don't give a damn what you. I think you hate that you can't hate me. My face is inches from his. Oh, I can hate you just fine. Then hate that you feel something for me. His hands skim my thigh while the other presses me firmly against him. Hate me for making you want this. I think I just got gaslit. Maybe manipulated. Next page. Second word. Just pretend. I've had enough of this pretending stuff. Just pretend, he murmurs. We deserve to pretend. No. Maybe pretending's okay. You going to kiss me, Gray, or just continue admiring what you see? He murmurs, now running a thumb over my bottom lip. Still contemplating drowning you, actually. My voice is breathy. My own fingers wandering over the curve of his jaw. Oh, darling, I already am. Shut up. His lips inch closer to mine, teasing me, and I'm begging you to let me breathe you in. I smile shyly. I thought you never begged. I'm getting used to it when it comes to you. Okay. See, I feel like it would have been way better if this was their first kiss. Because I feel like the first kiss was so rushed and like not built up. You know, it just happened. And we were like, oh, okay. He grabs her arms and puts it around his neck. And then she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, you tell me, little psychic. And then he goes, let me swim for the both of us. Peyton found a journal entry from her father, and it's basically him saying that the king was bribing all of the healers in the slums to go help only the elites to try and kill off the ordinaries. The conditions are simple enough. Only care for the upper class and promote the idea that ordinaries are weakening their powers through prolonged proximity due to the undetectable disease they carried. He is paying them off. What an expensive lie. Kai can eat his word and realize that she's not a problem and she doesn't have to die and they can live happily ever after. There really doesn't have to be a third book. Kai is in denial because he says, I can't let that be right because I've justified everything. Everything I've done as the enforcer. It was all to protect the elites and Ilya from this disease. But if ordinaries aren't weakening our powers, that would mean that he's been killing ordinaries to prevent them from reproducing with elites. He's been killing healthy, innocent people. He finally looks over at me, gray eyes icy. I've been killing healthy, innocent people. All can be forgiven, hey. Hear me out. Hold on. Love on the Brain came on and we're not.
Tears threaten to fall as I read of the mother I never met. Through blurry vision, a date catches my eye, forcing my frantic fingers to stop. This one's from 3 weeks before I was born, I say quietly, looking up to find Kai staring intently. She lost too much blood. I couldn't stop it. I'm a damn healer and I couldn't even save her. I buried her in the backyard with our baby. She was right. It was a girl. So Peyton was just left at his doorstep. Who's Peyton's parents then? I mean, at least you can say now that Kai didn't really kill her father. I have a feeling Kit's gonna be the villain in the next book, because Kai's talking about how he needs to show Kit the book about ordinaries being okay, and how he says he doesn't feel like he knows him anymore, and that Peyton's like, he's spiraling. He goes, no, he's fine. He's going to be fine. He just needs to adjust. That's all. I look away nodding to convince myself Kit will come back to me. He hates her because she's an ordinary, and then he hits her with this. He says, Gray, when I look at you, I see a strength that no elite possesses, and it called to me long before I ever discovered what you were or were not. Okay, and then he, in the same breath, says he's dragging her back to Ilya as a duty, not choice, but he said he wasn't going to. She's like, this is where I'm getting kind of confused, because one second Kai is so kind and caring, and then the next they're arguing again. You are a pain in the ass, you know that? It's like, now are they going to start flirting? Her eyes never strayed from mine. I would have thought you'd gather that the first time I kicked your ass. Oh, I did. My thumb brushed your cheek, but it was when you kissed me that I truly feared what you've done to me. Oh, dude. Sunlight is streaming through her hair, making her glow like something far too heavenly for me. I thought you had found your courage, she said softly. I smiled slightly. Maybe I'm fine with being a fool so long as it's for you. Kai pushes himself between me and the persistent arrows, blocking my body with his own. So Peyton had to kill the bandits, and that's like messing with her because she hates killing people. So you're done, okay? You did it. I wish I could have done it for you. My soul's already strained enough for the both of us. The final time that we have with Kai and Peyton, I'm wearing my darling, my pretty pay crew neck from House of Jupiter because it's very fitting to be wearing this right now. Peyton just asked Kai to cut her hair because his blood got in it, and she's like, I need this up, and she's like running her hand through her braid like, stop girl. Like, why does every female character in some dystopian or fantasy have to cut their hair? He's so cute though. He's like, I will wash your hair, okay? The blood won't be there forever. The freshly cut ends barely brush my shoulder. Kissed her thumb and then wiped her own tears with her thumb and then kissed her thumb and just kept doing that. He's so sweet. This is what I'm talking about when music lines up perfectly. So I'm reading Kit's chapter 42, and he's going to see the queen. She's like, oh my gosh, she looks so much like him when I first fell in love with him. This is insane. Like, and the song I'm listening to is Look Alike by Conan Gray. Pages 340 to 341 are the cutest things ever. This is what life would be if everything was different. He's like, have you seen the field before? She's like, I've never been past the castle. He's like, great, I'll be the first one to see your reaction. And then the fields have these beautiful acres of poppies, red and orange. And she's telling him, at least try to keep up. Is that so? I laughed, gaining on her. She realized too late what is happening. A squeal slips from her lips when I cut in front of her, bending to catch her legs and throw the rest of her body over my uninjured shoulder. Oh, he goes, I bite my tongue at the sting that still shoots down my body, but the sound of her laugh is healing, capable of a man forgetting his own name, let alone his pain. It's hard to believe that something so beautiful would willingly stare at the likes of me. I feel undeserving of her gaze, of the way her eyes roam over my face. I shake my head, still staring down at her. Don't look at me like that. Like what? She asked softly. Like I'm worthy of being seen. Her lashes flutter at my words. She swallows, lifting a hand to count my face. My eyes drift close at the feel of her palm against my skin, the privilege to be touched by her. And then he's like touching her hair, and he's like, do you regret it? She says, no. He says, good, I murmured, because I've always had a thing for short hair. Can we just end the book there? I think that's a perfect way to end the book. I don't even see the rest of the 30 pages that I have left. I have 30 pages, by the way. Well, it's true. Among the other things, of course, I shrug a shoulder. Short hair, ocean blue eyes, 28 freckles, and how tall are you? Oh my god. I'm kind of slow reading this page 342, but White Mustang by Lana Del Rey for page 342. Then we might as well enjoy this while it lasts. We sway in silence until she whispers, pretend, right? I swallow, hating the sound of the lie that slides off my tongue. Pretend. He admitted it.
about to find the O that his father carved into her chest. But his eyes drift down the length of my neck, following the curve of my exposed shoulder, the oversized shirt and tank strap now hanging loosely down my arm from lying ungracefully on my side. His eyes narrow, looking like chips of ice as the storm begins to brew within them. There is no way this man is gonna let anything happen to Peyton. I'm so sorry. No matter how close they get to that castle. So I'm assuming he saw the O, and she like quickly tries to hide it, and then he goes gray. His voice is cold. What the hell was that? I shake my head at him, hating the way I'm shrinking away. It's nothing. I've been waiting for him to find this O. Oh my gosh. Then let me see it, he says. Deceptive. I think Peyton's natural reaction is just to fight. He goes, let me see it, he says, deceptively calm. He reaches a hand towards me, and I don't think before blocking at it with my forearm. Are you really trying to fight me right now? His eyes flick between mine, his words a whisper. What did he do to you? He grabs my wrist before I could do any more damage. I'm not gonna fight you, he says sternly. I won't. Show him the O. He goes, why won't you fight me? My voice cracks, tears suddenly crowding my vision. Because the next time I lay a hand on you, I only ever want it to be in a caress, he says softly. He inches closer, eyes strained on the mangled skin beginning to scar. His voice is icy, sending a shiver down my spine. It's no. I nod. For ordinary, he finishes, disgusted. He tortured you and you didn't think to tell me? Would have made a difference, I say, throwing my hands in the air. That doesn't make me any less of a criminal. It would have made you less of a murderer, he says harshly. Why did you hide this from me? Do we have to go back to the kingdom now? No. He looks back up at the stars winking down at us. Scars. I blink. What? Scars, he repeats. Something else I've always had a thing for. I don't know how this book could end. Chapter 45, Kai. Today is the day. Oh. Her laugh alone could cure the most corrupted parts of me, and this is exactly what it's done since the day I met her. This man is going through like a war in his head. Because the chapter literally opened with him saying, the end of the mission is so near, and yet I'm not sure if I have the strength to finish it. But I'm chained to duty, created to command. I was made for the king, not for her. I can never be worthy of her. And yet you're still doing this stuff. Like, yes, you are. One thing that's confused me this whole segment where they're chained together is the amount of movement they're doing around the other. Like fighting, riding a horse, climbing, and all that stuff is like, how long is this chain? I picture this thing like 5 words, that's all I'm asking for. 5 words for you to tell me how you feel. I watch her eyes trail their way to mine. Then I listen to the 5 words that fall from her lips. Please just hate me. Aww. Please hate me. Under any circumstances I would have laughed, but instead I breathe. Why? She shuts her eyes. Because it's easier that way. Easier to stay enemies than become anything more. You guys are way past that point. Yeah, I take a deep breath. It's a little late for that, don't you think? Yup. This girl is so unaware, it's actually baffling to me. So this man, I don't know what you want me to do. I don't have a choice. You always have a choice, she says harshly. Not in the life I was born into, the missions I'm sent on. I'm practically panting as the words tumble from my mouth. You. She hesitates. Me. Yes, you. Something else I've always had a thing for. I let a bitter laugh. I had no choice in the matter. Do you think I could have stopped if I tried? She shakes her head at me. Stop what? Liking you? Falling in love with you? Pretending? No. My battery's dying. I'm literally about to cry. Haunted by Taylor Swift is perfect for chapter 46 if anyone wants a music recommendation. Okay, chapter 46. Stop myself from falling in love with you. I choke on my next breath, air clogging in my throat. His chest is rising and falling in time with my own. My heart sputters back to life, beating hard against my ribcage. I shake my head at him, taking a step back. No, don't say that. I asked you not to make this harder than it has to be. And I told you that it already is, he says, voice harsh. Damn it. The minute you threw a dagger at my head, I knew I was done for. There was no longer before you, only what I wanted with you. What could that possibly be? I laugh bitterly. I'm an ordinary, you're an elite. Not out here, I'm not. I stare at him, startled by the words I never thought I'd hear fall from his lips. Out here, I'm Kai, nothing more. His throat bobs. Out here, I'm powerless. A monster without an ability to hide behind. An enforcer free from his mask. A man shouting his love for a woman. I can't take this anymore. I think I would fall on my sword if it meant you more to me. He breathes, and it's terrifying to think you hold that much power over me. He closes the distance between us, tilting my chin up so I meet his gaze. You asked me what my favorite color was once. I never even pondered the answer to that question before you, and yet I realized in the moment that it was blue. He bends to brush a kiss to my temple, a murmur against my skin. It is your eyes. Tell me you hate me and I'll still count every heartbeat, every freckle, every shiver of your body, if only you say it with a smile. He backs away, freeing my face from his hands. I may be a monster, but if you cut me, I'll bleed. And if you break my heart, Pei, you'll break me. Even a sliver of your soul longs for mine, I'll spend the rest of my life trying to deserve it. The way my highlighter is like fully running out of ink right now. Maybe you really are a poet, I whisper. He smiles softly, or just a fool for you. No, you're a poet, for sure. We've been saying that this whole book. Pretend? My voice is small, soft like the breeze blowing through my short hair. Never. None of it. I ask quietly. Darling, he smiled. I've never had to pretend to want you. His words have my heart starting before realization hits me. What about our fathers? I blurt. I won't spend the rest of my life hating you for saving yourself. Words I thought would never say are suddenly caught in my throat. I forgive you, Kai. I think I might have a while ago. I wanted to kill you, I whispered, forcing his eyes open. I wanted to be your undoing, but even then I knew I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I had. He inched towards me, head shaking and eyes roaming as though overwhelmed by what he's seen. Oh, but you are my undoing, my deliverance, my downfall disguised as a deity. Call us even, call me crazy, I don't care, just... His eyes are pleading, brimming with emotion. Just call me yours.
I can't take this anymore. It's so cute.
I don't know what this ending's gonna be now. I'm really scared. Oh no. I'm so scared about the page. He pulls away, breathing heavy. You need to get out of here. Slipping my dagger from his boot, he crouches before the chain, tethering us together. What about you? I stammer. What about your mission and Kit? Don't worry about me. He wedges the blade between the seam of the cuff around my ankle, trying to pry it apart. I can handle Kit. He already thought I wouldn't be able to bring you back anyway. He did? He huffs humorously. Yeah, you figured I would do exactly what it is I'm doing now, letting you go. He strains against the handle of my dagger. It seems he was right to doubt me. I drop down beside him, crushing poppies beneath me. What does this mean? He doesn't answer, eyes trained on the stubborn chain. Kai, what does this mean? He stops long enough to look up at me. It means you're going to get as far away from here as possible. I'll stall the search for you as long as I can, but you need to find a way to get to Isram by then? I shake my head. No. Yes, Pei. No, my voice is stern. No, I'm sick of running and I won't spend the rest of my life doing it unless it's you I'm running back to. Then I'll spend the rest of my life tracking you down, he says, quietly. Glimpsing you in the shadows, finding you in the streets, dancing with you in my dreams, because living without you is only bearable when I know you are out there still living too. Please, I whisper. Kit won't let me stop hunting you. I swear if Kit is walking in the field to them, I'm gonna freak out. I'm so scared. Whoa! Okay. He nods. Be smart. I'm going to fix all this, I promise. His eyes flick between mine, and it's a struggle to not throw myself into his arms. You are my proof of paradise. Kai's eyes are like chips of ice, so cold they burn. Touch her again, he snarls, voice low, and I'll slit your throat. She's mine. And then I wrote, literally. Not knowing if this will be the last time I see it, or maybe he will be the last thing I see. The one to drive a sword through my heart. Said Kai would literally kill Kit before killing Peyton. I would like die on that hill. There's no way he would let that happen. But this is pretend, the only time I've ever pretended with her. Every touch, every dance, ever kiss disguised as distraction was anything but. Because before I loved her, I longed for her. She was a one I wasn't worthy of, and I'm afraid I'll never get the chance to deserve her. Because now that I have her, I'm giving her away. What if Kit proposes to her on sight? And then Kit's like, I see you made it home regardless. Of course I did. The words fall harsher than they should have. Your Majesty, I add quickly. And your men? He asked with a tilt of his head. I fold my hands behind my bare back. Unforeseen circumstances. Ah, Kit drums his finger on the large arm of the throne, looking uncomfortable in the seat. And her? Okay, first of all, yeah, looking uncomfortable in the seat. Kit is not ready to be king. Sorry. Any other unforeseen circumstances I should know of? I wrote, yes, we are in love. And then I said, so stay back. I need like a really good song right now, and it needs to be perfect. I'm gonna do War of Hearts. I think that should be a good one. Okay. I'm like sweating right now. I don't want to ruin this crew neck. No, wait. Kai says no unforeseen circumstances happened. He's lying, obviously, because he can't tell Kit that they confessed their love for each other fully. And then Kit is now looking at her as good, he says to Kai, though his eyes stay fixed on me because I have special plans for her. Like marriage, maybe? I don't know how they'd pull it off, though. Because, like, Kit marrying her would be a little insane. I'm so scared, I can't read this. We're gonna have to read this together, okay. Everybody in the room seems to lean closer in anticipation. What do we think is gonna happen? This is all gonna come down. I think he's gonna try and marry her. That's my guess. It could be so wrong. It's probably gonna be so wrong. Okay. His eyes flick back to me. Do you confess to not only being a resistance member, but to conspiring with them as well? No. I blink, still shocked to him address me by name. My throat has gone dry, voice raspy as I manage. Yes. Oh no. But do you admit to killing the former king of Ilia? My eyes never stray from his. I do. He's gonna take that I do out of context. He's gonna pull the box out and says, okay, great. Stretch of silence that follows is deafening and bite my tongue to keep me from feeling it. When the king looks up, I see Kit shining through his expression. The sudden shift has me blinking in surprise, and when I see Kai straighten slightly beside me, I know he sees it too. Oh! What does this mean? I'm so scared because Kai realized it. That my future decisions are anything but crazy, and I will explain them all to you in due time. Oh no. Is he gonna marry her? When his eyes land back on mine, I know my time has come. Peyton Gray. Will you marry me? Will you? I duck my head, not wanting to see words form on his lips, so this is how it ends. Not by trials, not by scorches or bandits or sewer. Oh, I'm scared. Oh my god, it cries the epilogue. Oh yeah, I gotta like block this, attempting to drown me, but by the mere words of the king I created. I wonder if he will make Kai do it or recreate the death of his father that only seems fitting. Stand. I'm so scared. I almost don't hear him over my deafening, dreadful thoughts. It takes several stuttering heartbeats to finally scramble to my feet, wincing at the pain shooting up my sliced ankle. The king eyes. Oh my god, the king's eyes travel up the length of me before landing on my gaze. He pulls the box from his pocket. Small velvet between his fingers. The lid lifts, snapping open to reveal. Nothing could have prepared me for what the words fall from his lips. Not even a real damn psychic. The ring sparkles against the black velvet. It sits within. You are to be my bride. No. Oh my god, hey, I guessed it though. Oh no. No, 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 no. I'm gonna cry. What about Kai? This is all Callum's doing. Fuck you, Callum. This man's so delusional. You know what this is? This is just another retelling of The Summer I Turned Pretty, and this is Jeremiah Fisher right now as Kit. This man is so delusionally annoying. War of Hearts though, slayed. Je te laisse des mots by Noel.smt on Spotify. This is like a different version of it. I'm gonna cry for Kai. Genuinely gonna cry for Kai. No. Why am I crying so hard? I feel like I have to throw up. This is so dramatic for no reason. I'm not okay. This is so lame. Why am I crying? This is how I lose her. Not by death, but by something just as binding. The command rings in my head, and to think I wasted so much time trying to hate her. To think I won't have enough time to love her. My heart aches because every beat belongs to her, and I may never get to tell her that. Is this how she'll remember me? Escorting her. Such a big loser. Is this how she'll remember me? Escorting her to this fate, bound by duty alone. I could laugh, I could cry, I could burn this place to the ground like I did her house just for a chance to confess my love before the flames consume me. Because I am bound to her very being. Hers until the day she realizes I don't deserve to be. The king's eyes are on me while mine are somewhere far away. Somewhere with her. A place where I'm nothing and no one and happy being powerless. So long as she is beside me. My gaze falls from the fantasy, finding its way to her. This is not how I'll remember us. Not as enemies or traitors, monsters, but as two people dancing in the dark, swaying beneath the stars. Her feet atop of mine. Her head on the heart that beats only for her. Just paying Kai. I step away from her kneeling form, masking every emotion with a blank stare. I'm leaving her to face him, her future husband. I melt into the crowd, standing at a safe enough distance to prevent myself from stealing her away. This will be the rest of my life. Forced to love her from a distance, mourn the loss of her each day, but I will smother every emotion but the one that belongs to her. I will love her until I'm incapable of the feeling. She is the torture I may not survive, but eagerly, she is my undoing. Her gaze lifts, meeting eyes that are not my own. Eyes of the man who gets to have her if she allows it. She was supposed to be mine forever. Now I'll watch her become someone else's, because the beast doesn't get the beauty. Because I get it. Like, I don't get it, but like, I understand why people were complaining about this being such a character-focused story and not so much on the plot, and how Lauren Roberts said that this was more of a filler book. But this is what the story was. We finally got our time with Kai and Peyton, and we got to see them banter. Yes, they were kind of annoying here and there because they were 1 second friends and the next fighting and arguing, and sometimes it felt like they were just doing it just to do it. All of that is meant for these 2.5 pages to hit. This man, Like, he can't do any, this is, but who is Kit to do that? I know Callum is the one doing like the speaking in Kit's ear, but they had like the smallest amount of chemistry, and Peyton was literally lying. Everything with Kit was pretend. Nothing with Kai was pretend. How is Kit that delusional to think that they actually had something? It's genuinely giving Jeremiah Fisher and Conrad. Kai is Conrad in this case. Now whenever I hear this song, I'm just gonna think of Kai. This is so beautiful. Lauren Roberts, thank you. So beautiful. Kai is so poetic. Lauren Roberts, honestly, such a fantastic job with her writing. It is beautiful. Once again, I don't care that people didn't really like this book. This is a 5-star for me. 100% a 5-star. Powerless was like a 6+ type of vibe. This is like solid. And I'm gonna die on that hill. I guess the ending, but like I was entrapped enough into the feelings of Kai and Peyton in the last like 50 pages that the ending hit me hard, as you saw. You guys, I genuinely don't know how to go about my day. This book, beautiful. I don't care what anyone says about this book. I love this book, and I was hesitant kind of throughout it, but this is a 5-star for me. I'm gonna give it a 5-star. I really never cry during books, and some books have made me cry, and I'm kind of happy about that because I don't cry often. And when a book can make me cry, that's when I know my emotions are in it and like I'm invested in the story. So that's why I'm giving it a 5 stars, because I felt everything. Yeah, I'm so curious though what's gonna obviously happen in the 3rd book, and until that time I don't know what to do with myself. I have the audiobook downloaded on my Audible. I have like a free trial left on my Audible, so I'm just gonna use the remainder of the time that I have to listen to it because I want to hear the voice actor speak for Kai. But what's gonna happen with Callum? I think honestly, the next book, I think Kit's gonna die. That's like my assumption of it. Something's gonna happen to where either Kit's killed or something like that, because Kai and Peyton have to end up together. There's no way that they're not. They have to. I'm gonna be so sick about this. Kit is he's so Jeremiah Fisher coded. I'm sick of that man. I'm so over him. But like Lauren Roberts did such a good job, because we only got like what, 4 or 5 chapters of Kit, and in that time he gave us enough information but not enough to even know what he was about to do, but like you still could guess. So yeah, I want to know what happened with Callum, and I want to know if Peyton still gets revenge on Blair, because Blair can't go untouched, you know what I mean? How could he do that to Kai? What if Kai said that something did happen? I wonder if he still would have proposed to Peyton. Anyways, thank you, Lauren Roberts. Thank you, everyone, for watching this video. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Thank you if you watch all the way through. Thank you if you skip through it. If you've made it to ending, I appreciate you so very much. If you read this book without spoiling anything in the comments, just let me know how you feel or what your thoughts were on this book, what you thought about it. Really am interested to hear everyone's thoughts and opinions, because I know this was such an anticipated book. I think Lauren Roberts did an amazing job, and I'm so excited for the 3rd book. I don't know if I'm scared I'm gonna be in a book slump after this now. I have Inheritance Games, and that's another brother book where they're fighting over the same girl, and it's always the wrong brother. Anyways, okay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me react and basically document this whole journey of me reading this book. I'm actually really curious how many hours this took me to read. I'll put it somewhere. I know it took me a long time for sure, because I was annotating and stuff. This book's really good. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye.